A short reading from Mark's Gospel, chapter 1. As Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come, follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." At once they left their nets and followed him. When he had gone a little farther, he saw James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John in a boat preparing their nets. Without delay, he called them, and they left their father Zebedee in the boat with the hired men and followed him. So, Jesus calls those first disciples to follow him. He was calling them to share their whole lives with him, to be his apprentices, to learn to imitate him, to learn to live his way of life. And it was a way of life which was to be lived in community. And that community was in turn called to be a blessing to the wider world. Today still, to be a Christian means to be a follower, an apprentice of Jesus. It means to join his family, what we call the church, and to develop our relationships with God, with each other, and with the wider world too. Sometimes the best way of explaining things, though, is the simplest way. I'd like to show you a short video clip about children asking the question, what is church?
The church is the building we go to when we want to learn about God.
Nope, this is a church.
Those are people.
Yep, in fact, it's you and me.
You kinda lost me.
The church isn't a building. The church is the people who have made Jesus the leader of their lives. And that's us. We don't go to church, we are the church. And we exist for the world.
Oh, okay. I still don't get it.
Let's look in the book of Acts. That's where the Bible talks about the very first church, the people who first believed in Jesus. They didn't have buildings to meet in, so they met where they could, usually in people's homes.
So their church was a house?
Nope, the church met in houses. Even then, the church was the people. And the apostles taught them many things about God. They did great and wonderful things with God's power. God did amazing things through everyone in the church.
Through all the people? How?
The people of early church put others first. They prayed together, they shared meals, they shared their time, they shared everything.
Everything? Really? Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. The Bible tells us that when one of them needed something, others shared what they had. They even sold things and used the money to help out.
That's amazing.
That's putting others first. The early church was really good at it. For instance, this one guy, Joseph, sold a field and brought the money to the people of the church to help those who needed it.
Awesome. What made them do that?
They all agreed. They all wanted to live like Jesus, and the apostles told them how Jesus put others first when he died on the cross and went up to heaven.
The early church learned about Jesus and lived like him, so they put others first. I think I get it.
Great, but you haven't heard the best part. When others saw how those first church people lived, it made them want to follow Jesus too. In fact, more people decided to follow Jesus every single day.
Wow, God did do amazing things through the first church people.
And God still does amazing things through his people when they live like Jesus and put others first.
Right, because we are the church.
And we exist for the world.
So then, the church as people, the church as family, the church as a movement more than an institution. The church as an imperfect bunch of people trying to follow the way of Jesus together the best we can. And how we live, of course, will speak volumes. At our best, we'll be like mini Christs, living lives of compassion and justice and love. If we're following the way of Jesus, though, we're going to need some help. We may not be able to see too far ahead on the road as we follow, but we can take notice of some signposts along the way, or waymarks. Waymarks point us towards learning to live the Jesus way. Here's another video clip which explains how liberating having a personal rule or way of life can actually be. So, you see what we have there are some markers to measure our journey against. We can ask ourselves at different points in our lives things like, is there too much clutter in my life? How can I simplify? How can I better manage my time? How can I develop a healthy rhythm of work and rest? How might God be calling me right now to make a difference to others? But I think key to it all, key to following Jesus is relationship. Relationship with God and relationship with our brothers and sisters in his family. The truth is we need each other. We need people to walk with us through all the inevitable ups and downs of life. We need each other to learn to live the way of Jesus in our lives at this time. So that short clip there shows you the essence of what a soul friend is, a friendship focused on helping us to live the way of Jesus in our lives at this time. And all these things work together, I think. The call to follow Jesus, to learn to live his way, and to do it with the help of others. The call to be part of the Jesus movement, a family that we call the church, called to work with God to bring hope to others far and wide. Jesus said, "I have come that you may have life, life to the full." And he's not talking about a life free from suffering. He's not promising us a bed of roses. He's promising to teach us a new way to be human, his way to be human. In this together, for God's sake, for each other's sake, and for the sake of the world. So let me ask you, do you want to discover a new, balanced and liberating way of life, where you can find meaning and purpose and a sense of peace which just can't be found anywhere else? Yes? Well, how can you then better engage yourself with Jesus, with his way of life, and with his family? We have resources which can help, and we can have people there alongside you who can help. The choice ultimately, though, is yours. Is there any reason, any real reason, to hold back any longer?